A book that shook empires from beginning to end. A book so unsettling that even the Vatican banned it. The question is, was this secret text truly revealed to Enoch, the one we know as Prophet Idris, AS, in Islam? Was this a divine revelation from Allah, or has history been twisted beyond recognition? What you're about to hear will flip everything you think you know about human history. According to ancient texts, giants once existed. Not myth, not imagination, real beings born from a forbidden union between entities that descended from the sky and human women. From this unnatural bloodline came a race so powerful, they nearly ended humanity. Did these beings really declare war against mankind? And what does Islam actually say about all of this? Idris AS, a prophet gifted with divine knowledge, a man who walked the earth with wisdom beyond his age, played a mysterious game with the angel of death, Azrael himself. In the end, he wasn't killed, he was raised. But the question is, where was he taken? Is he in paradise right now? Or living in a realm beyond dimensions? When you hear the events of his time, you'll understand what the world calls human history is nothing more than a fairy tale. And now we enter the most crucial part. Islamic sources describe the heights, power, and strength of the early prophets and their people. What we found will shake your understanding of reality. This video was prepared after studying dozens of historical and Islamic sources. Your support helps keep this research alive. Subscribe now so we can continue uncovering what others refuse to talk about. Let's begin. Even if the original Book of Enoch once existed, its laws do not apply to Muslims today, but we cannot simply call it fabricated either. If even one sentence in it originally came from Allah and we reject it blindly, we risk falling into sin, so we must approach it with caution, not arrogance. Islamic scholars mention that Idris AS was given 30 pages of revelation. Interestingly, what is known as the Book of Enoch today is not a complete book. It was discovered in pieces, scrolls, and fragments. 3 major discoveries brought it back into light. First, a complete version found in the Ethiopian language. A Scottish explorer, James Bruce, obtained it during his journey to Ethiopia in 1773. Second, in 1886, French archaeologists uncovered portions of the Greek version in Egypt. And third, the most shocking, came in 1947 in the area of Qumran, where the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered. Among them were fragments of the Book of Enoch, written in ancient Aramaic, the language many say Idris himself spoke. These writings date back to the 2nd century BCE. They are ancient, they are mysterious, and they are filled with astonishing claims. One section, called the Book of Giants, is the most disturbing. It describes the birth of hybrid beings, the Nephilim, born from the union of fallen angels and human women. These giants had dreams of destruction and went to Enoch seeking interpretation. Enoch told them clearly, their dreams were warnings from Allah. If they did not repent, they would be destroyed. So where did these giants truly come from? Judeo-Christian sources speak of fallen angels rebelling against God and descending to earth. But this is not what Islam teaches. Angels do not disobey Allah. They have no desire, no ego, and no free will. Islam reveals a third type of creation, the jinn, made from smokeless fire. They do have free will, and some are believers while others are evil. Shaitan himself is not a fallen angel. He is a jinn. So when we read of beings descending to earth, engaging in corruption and mixing with humans, it aligns more with the nature of jinn, not angels. Ancient sources agree that the Nephilim were gigantic beings who wreaked havoc until they were wiped out. Now, does Islam mention giants? The answer is yes. In authentic hadith, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that Adam was created 60 cubits tall, around 40 meters. Idris AS lived only 6 generations after Adam. Prophet Hud AS and the people of Ad were also described as immensely tall and powerful. Even if the word giant is not used, the physical descriptions make it clear. The early humans were colossal compared to us. And now we arrive at the mysterious connection between humans and jinn. Though not explicitly confirmed, some narrations refer to hybrid beings such as Nasnas, half jinn, half human creatures. These are reported in folk accounts but lack strong evidence, yet their existence cannot be completely dismissed. We then reach a story mentioned in both Islamic texts and falsely interpreted in the West, Harut and Marut, 2 angels sent by Allah, not in rebellion, but as a test. They taught people how magic worked, so they could undo it, not use it for evil, but mankind, as always, chose corruption. Now we turn to the one who stood in the midst of all this. Prophet Idris, A.S. He was the first to write with a pen, the first to sew clothes. He mastered astronomy, mathematics, and wisdom. Angels would descend to visit him. His devotion was so great, his heart detached from the world. The Quran says, "Mention Idris in the book. He was a man of truth, a prophet, and we raised him to a high station. He divided his life into preaching and pure worship. One day, as the sun scorched the earth, he made a dua. O Allah, lighten the burden of the sun upon the angel who carries it." His dua was accepted. The angel felt relief and asked Allah to let him visit Idris. Permission was granted. Not only that, the angel of death, Azrael himself, came to accompany Idris. But Idris did not know who he was walking beside. What followed was a journey beyond realms. Idris witnessed the unseen, tasted death and returned, and asked Azrael to take him to hell, and even paradise. What he saw there is something the world is still not ready for. And in the end, Allah raised him. Idris, A.S., did not die on earth. Where is he now? Waiting. A sign of the end, a witness of what humanity has forgotten. And this was just the beginning of what was revealed. If this shook you, then understand. This is only the beginning of truth the world tried to bury. Subscribe to Parvaz Legacy, not for entertainment, but for awakening. Because silence serves falsehood, and we were not created to stay silent.